To us, magic sounds like this extraordinary thing, pulling a rabbit out of the hat, coming out of nowhere. But it's here, it's real, and the more that we are open to the unseen, to the energies of this world, to abundance and manifesting, to calling in and growing, the more we'll be able to call magic into our lives. Join me as I share stories, wisdom, and curiosity around connecting with your higher frequency, tapping into the synchronicities of the universe, and opening up to the unseen possibilities that this world has to offer. I am your host, Dayna Faye, and this is the Ordinary Magic Podcast. Hey everyone, it's Dayna here, your host of Ordinary Magic, and today I have a solo episode for you where I am checking in. How are you doing? I am going to talk about how I've been doing and my reflections on really these last 4 years, as it feels like as we move into the fall equinox that we are turning another page on 2024, which has been an insane year, to say the least. If anyone's been feeling into the energy and just how much has shifted, even if you don't consider yourself as somebody who really feels into energy, just feel into how much has shifted in your life on a physical level, whether that's relationships, jobs, your routines, what you do for fun, maybe how you spend your money. It's a heated time out there in the collective. Obviously, we have the elections for the USA in November. And I think if you feel into that energy at all, it can be really jarring and hard. So this is an energy update and also a reflection on just what a wild ride we've all been on as a collective. Whether you realize it or not, our consciousness has been evolving and growing, and your attunement to your spirit body, your awareness of being a spirit in human form is getting greater. And if you're listening to this, I imagine that you're at least a little bit curious about what it feels like to be more in tune with your spirit, your higher self, your guides, and also the people around you. I am coming to you today with more of a personal update of just kind of surrendering to the fact that even though I started this podcast a year and a half ago because I was very excited to talk about different spiritual tools like human design and astrology, and to talk about energy and to talk about metaphysical experiences, everyone's experience as their consciousness gets to a new heightened level is so incredibly unique to them. And that is what I'm starting to realize, that my experience that I'm going through is sort of happening to me, and it's not in the way that my mind could ever imagine. And every single one of these tools, human design, astrology, meditation, they all hold the same purpose. And that is to calm your mind, your mental body, and really put it in the back seat. And I have a feeling I am going to be hammering this home the rest of my life as a teacher or a guide or a mentor, because as I step into having more channeling clients and watching my channeling abilities grow as I work with people, the more that I really truly allow my mental body to clock out, the more clear and better of a channel I am. And that is incredibly hard. We have been conditioned to use our mind for everything. And it became very clear to me, I would say starting in 2020, that everyone actually has their own truth. And how I see that is, it is really your own truth is painted by the experiences that you've had, all the experiences that you've been through since you were a child. And then on top of that, your essence, your human design blueprint, what you've come here to express. But that can only be expressed to the amount that you allow your mind to take a back seat, and the amount that you feel into your body, who you are on a soul level. But you can only feel into that to the extent that you feel comfortable enough to feel the pain of some of the experiences that you have had, to feel the pain of grief, loss, sorrow, to feel the pain of fear. It was so clear to me in 2020. And for those who are into human design, I have a completely open spleen center. There's not one hanging gate off of it. And that is the center that governs our primal fears. It governs our health and wellness. And so when we were going through that global pandemic, that was not an easy time for me at all. I'm sure I wasn't doing enough energetic clearing and like protecting my aura, but I was for sure taking on the fears that everybody was feeling. So for somebody, if you have your spleen center, and this is the triangle to the left of the chart, if you're looking at it, if you have your spleen center defined, you have certain gates that hang off of there that you have consistent energy of just one certain fear. And they all represent a different fear. Mine is totally open. So I walk around feeling people's fears and amplifying them. And it's jarring. And during that time, I was not at a place in my consciousness to be able to hold it enough. It felt like it was very much happening to me, and I could not handle it. And I'm sure many of you feel the same in whatever open centers you have. So if you were going through that time with a very open emotional center, you were walking around and picking up people's emotions. What were most people feeling? Scared, trapped, unsure, uncertain, confused, all these emotions of a low vibration. And that is continuing to today. And it's going to continue all the way through 2027. We are still in this period from a human design lens where the systems, any systems that have been set up with a low consciousness or a low vibration, they have to change. They're crumbling. The consciousness is getting raised on this planet to a place where any type of system, whether that is, schools or the government or some type of community thing, churches, anything that is not in everybody's best interest and of a higher vibration, it's getting transmuted. But what that looks like right now is that we're like going backwards and things are getting really scary. And so I'm just trying to name that for you, because I myself went through a period like a month ago where I started following politics really, really very closely. And then I just started following all these things that I always thought were a little bit corrupt, but then somebody would call me a conspiracy theorist back in the day. And because they shamed me, I took that to heart, and then I made myself small. But now a lot of these, quote, conspiracy theories are coming out as truth. And that's what's happening from an astrology standpoint, as Pluto is now back in Capricorn until just mid-November of this year for the very last time. So we had a little taste of Pluto in Aquarius. And during that time, it definitely felt like we were bringing more power to the people, the middle class, the average person was getting their voice heard. Well, it moved back into Capricorn, which it had started there in 2008. And so during this time, that planet of Pluto has been transforming all the systems and corporations and things that have been set up that need to be regenerated. This is the planet of death and regeneration. And so we're really at the last hour of this. And unfortunately, or on purpose, who knows, this is happening during the election time. So it stayed in Capricorn through the elections, and then it will move into Aquarius mid-November. So I'm saying this as a reminder for myself and for you. I had to completely stop watching anything that was going on politically because it was sending me into such a low vibration. And I also wanted to speak from my wounds of my totally open spleen center that still doesn't feel healed or heard by how much I felt during the pandemic, how much I wanted to kind of speak out on, but I accepted shame from other people who were also scared. That's the only reason they were telling me to be quiet, right? And the difference now is my consciousness is higher. And if something like that happens again to me, where I feel shamed and made to be more quiet, I am now able to see that from an awareness standpoint and still use my voice and not be scared and say, okay, I know I am picking up people's fears and amplifying them, but I don't need to take that on as my truth. My truth right now is I am not scared. I am going to stay in a high vibration because I can feel spirit coursing through my veins. I can feel my ancestors and loved ones helping us. I can feel angels helping us. I can feel that we are going to make it through this hard time that on a world stage, it seems like all the shit is hitting the fan. I know and I have faith that these systems are going to be readjusted. And everyone else is going to go through an inner journey of readjusting their awareness to their consciousness and stepping more into their authentic path. That's why this tool of human design is here. And that's why I want people to learn it, because it puts you on the fast track to stepping into your authenticity from an essence level, so that you bring your authentic self not only into what's so popular right now is to find my purpose, right, in my work or as a friend or a mom, but more just like to have this essence all the time. And when you start to take on certain levels of fear or anxiety or thoughts that are lacking, you can check back in. Oh, I'm not hitting my pillars of what my essence is. And when I do hit those pillars, evidence shows that there's more flow and ease and peace that is coming from my body and in my life and between my relationships. So on that note, I wanted to read one paragraph from The Gene Keys by Richard Rudd. He is absolutely amazing. I love studying the Gene Keys. These words are truly a transmission. And this teaching, I feel at the moment, is something for you to find for yourself. And so I'm just using this one paragraph as a talking point in regards to how much our mind can really steer our ship off course and how important that is. So, all right, from the great Richard Rudd. At every moment, your thinking reflects the way in which the inner body is feeling. If your overall frequency is low, you generally feel a kind of background unease throughout your physical, emotional, and mental bodies. This unease is generated by the global frequency in which we all live. In other words, every human being feels the suffering of the whole world through the quantum field that connects us all. I'm going to read that again. In other words, every human being feels the suffering of the whole world through the quantum field that connects us all. The more you listen into your body, the more you will attune to this collective sense of unease that is rooted in fear. Most people develop patterns from an early age to escape feeling this vast desert of world pain, and the mind is the first line of defense. As long as we are addicted to thinking, we can avoid fully feeling it. Now, I'm going to leave it there. There's so much more you can read on to that, and I don't want that to sound depressing, but that's a look into and proof that it is so actually uncomfortable to finally be able to feel embodied. Because when you start to feel your consciousness, you start to feel very uncomfortable energies that you have squashed down since you were a little kid in whatever coping mechanism you used. And I know I've definitely been going through that this past year as I have gone through hard times. You see, we use our mind as a crutch just about all the time. Whenever we start to feel uncomfortable, or whenever we feel confused on what our next action is, what we should be doing, whenever we have a moment of silence, or we might feel a little bit bored, or when we're in the elevator and there's another person in there, what do? You let your mind attach to things. You look at your phone, you plan ahead for your work. You start planning new things. You think about the next thing you should study. When are you just letting yourself sit in silence, or go for a walk in nature, or meditate and truly feel what's going on in your body? So why I wanted to read that paragraph from Richard Rudd is because he really names there that we are feeling the energy from the whole collective field. Many, many spiritual texts say that we all come from the same source of consciousness, whether you call that source, universe, God, the creator. We are all an expression of that consciousness. The creator wanted to create us in our own unique designs so that we can express a version of that. And it's simple. We have low expressions of our energy and we have high expressions of our energy. And the Gene Keys even say it's not that the low expressions are bad. They are the coal, the foundation to turn into a diamond. They are ready to go to the next level of frequency and then the next level of frequency. So it's bringing the awareness that those expressions are there that helps you bring the light to them and transmute them to a higher expression. So I really challenge you as we start to step into a time this fall where the world stage is much louder, to allow yourself to turn down the dial of that volume and bring yourself more into what is going on in your local world and your community. And that starts with you. So start to bring awareness to your body, your essence. Go inward more as much as you can. Meditate, go for a walk, do yoga. And when you're doing that, that is prime time to tell your mind it can take a back seat. Connect with your mental body, thank it for its logic and reasoning, and then say, you can go in the trunk now. I am going to feel the essence of my soul. From there, you can connect with your loved ones, your friends, and your local community, because that's who's here right in front of you. Tapping into that bigger conscious energy field. Yes, get educated. There's a time and place. Understand that most media and things you are watching has some type of agenda to what's best for them and whoever's money is behind them, right? So many people are waking up to that now, and it's so exciting. And let go. Because if we all come from the same source, we literally are all connected. So connected. When you go about the world, your aura is touching other people's auras. When you scroll Instagram, you are feeling those people's energies. And so we are all one big bath of the frequency that we are walking. So what will you choose over these next couple months? Because we need you more now than ever to be in the higher frequency of love, joy, compassion, empathy, hope, playfulness, anything, gratitude, anything that's going to bring your vibration higher. If you have the capacity to do it right now because your other needs are met, we need you. Please do that, because the vibration of fear, anxiety, confusion, separation is going to be so incredibly loud through the end of this year, maybe even into next year. It has been loud, you guys. It has been loud. I was saying to a good friend of mine the other day, how weird is it that, like, when you're a football fan, and I'll just use the Green Bay Packers because I'm from Wisconsin, like, we can have a game against our rivals, the Chicago Bears, and give the Bears fans shit all day and sing the song, the Bears still suck at the end when we win and or lose, whatever. At the end of the day, though, that Bears fan and Packer fan, our love for football is so strong that we respect each other. We have let the energy of fear and separation seep into us at such an extreme level that at the end of the day, our love for country and community isn't stronger right now. And I believe the pendulum is swinging back to that. I see it among a lot of young influencers who are sharing very patriotic photos and talking about how much they love their country and community. And for a while there, that wasn't cool because we were ashamed of things that needed to get worked on. And luckily, the light was shined there. And most people, even though the media, who is still on a fear agenda, most people have learned and grown so much in acceptance for all sentient beings, for all humans, for seeing where the system is a little corrupt and some people don't have a leg up, and being compassionate to that and donating money and helping out their community. The fear-mongering media is not showing that, but it has happened. The light has shined. Pluto did its job as it went through Capricorn from 2008 until now. It shined a light on all the systems that are not in favor for humans to thrive. And that has come to the surface. And because of that, though, a lot of us have accepted this fear energy that has pinned us against each other. And I've been there too, where it's given me anxiety. I'm scared to, talk and talk about my truth or share my opinion with someone, because if I do, they might blast me on social media or, whatever. The pendulum's going to swing the other way. And we're going to get back to the fact that we can have disagreements, because through talking about our differences, but feeling the frequency of how much we love other human beings, our community, and ultimately our country and our earth and this greater, wider world that we live in, we will feel the connection. We will feel this connection that can't be felt through the mind. It's felt through your consciousness, through your heart chakra, through your senses of wherever your kind of energetic senses are online. And that's really exciting. And it's happening. It's going to happen more. I am sharing this with you today as somebody who completely went down the rabbit hole, got very kind of depressed, and ended up getting sick for 2 weeks because I care a lot. And I know you care too. And so what I'm asking for you to do when you feel like all hope is gone and that you feel like you can't help, you can raise your frequency. And it can be done in a playful way, in a fun way, whenever you find yourself seeping down into the collective field of anger, anxiety, fear, separation. Find the most natural way that you can come back. If that's loving on your kids, going for a walk in nature, calling a friend you haven't talked to in a while, unplugging from social media, and to an extreme where we don't realize just even pulling up the app when we see 5 different headlines, our brain completely writes the story for those headlines, even though we didn't read those stories, right? Really unplugging is so important. And it's what's going to bring you back to your channel, your connection to source consciousness, your connection to your higher self and your guides. And ultimately, that connection is what is going to direct you to what is next for you, not your mind. Your mind is going to take you in 5 directions, confuse you, and make you take a lot longer to get where you're going. Your only goal is to connect to your essence, to be you on a soul level, and in turn, see where the universe takes you. And with that, I hope you guys have a super magical next 2 weeks, and we'll chat soon.
Hey, magical beings, are you ready to connect deeply with your soul and uncover your true purpose and path? It's Dayna from Ordinary Magic, and I have 2 special offerings just for you. With my human design readings, you'll discover your unique blueprint and learn how to live in harmony with your true nature. And through my soul alignment sessions, we will connect to your higher self and your spirit team to gain profound clarity and deeper connection to your soul's essence. So whether you're facing life's challenges or simply need an energetic tune-up, book your session today and let's embark on this magical journey together. Visit my website at daynafaye.com.
Ordinary Magic is a Lit Path Studios production, produced by Jamie Gale and Dayna Faye. Music is by Shane Ivers. Until next time, I wish you many powerful moments of ordinary magic.